Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at a really high-stakes corporate PR crisis.
Yeah, one that turned personal. Fast.
Exactly. Set against, the whole Hamptons high society scene, we've got these sources detailing this, well, intense collaboration, mandated even.
Between two pretty powerful players.
Right. And our mission today is really to understand what exactly they were supposed to do professionally.
And how the secret past they share just, well, complicated everything from the get-go.
So let's introduce them. We're talking Riker Davenport, 30-year-old billionaire heir, Davenport Media.
And Camille Vaughn, 24, super ambitious publicist from, the very prestigious Vaughn PR firm.
Right, her family's firm, which is key.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the stakes, hugely high for both of them, but measured in completely different ways,
How do you mean?
Well, for Riker, it's literally the family empire on the line, his inheritance, billions.
Okay, huge.
And for Camille, it's all about proving herself professionally, getting that legitimacy.
Okay, so let's unpack Riker's side first. He's in, well, serious trouble with his board.
Oh, big time. He shared highly confidential corporate information, a massive error in judgment.
And because of that, his entire inheritance, the media empire, it's all just dangling.
Pretty much. So the board demands this really drastic intervention.
Which involves?
A forced collaboration, basically monitored exile for the summer in the Hamptons.
Wow.
Yeah, he has to work with a top publicist, schmooze the board members at this ridiculously exclusive place, Pembroke Hills Country Club.
And generally rehab his image?
Exactly. Show he's not just some liability.
And Camille's role in all this wasn't just any assignment for her, was it?
No way. This was the assignment. Her father, Troy Vaughn, who runs the firm,
right.
He dangled the promise of a partner position if she successfully cleans up Riker's mess and gets the board's trust back.
So immense pressure on her, too.
Absolutely. Failure for her means staying stuck, under her father's professional shadow indefinitely.
So this whole setup is basically a test. For her, it's competence.
And for him, it's maturity. Can he handle the responsibility?
Okay, so the mandate itself, what did that actually look like day to day?
Well, Riker had to spend the whole summer tucked away in the Hamptons, far from trouble.
Prove he's not the immature, spoiled heir everyone thinks he is.
Right. Act accordingly, and critically, only make news that makes Davenport Media look good, perfectly shiny.
In Camille's job, just clean this up.
Basically, yeah. Keep him in line, make sure the right image gets out there. Damage control, essentially.
But the kicker is their history, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's the huge complication nobody on the board seemed to know about. Or maybe they did, who knows?
What happened?
It had this, well, the sources call it one amazing night together, months earlier, New Year's Eve.
Okay.
But Camille immediately shut it down afterwards, called it insignificant. A mistake.
Ouch. So instant tension when they meet again for this job.
Palpable. You could cut it with a knife. Their whole professional relationship starts under this cloud of personal rejection.
Which totally shapes how she handles it, I bet.
Completely. She goes into full-on professional mode, sets clear rules for Riker.
Like what?
Listen to me. Act like a grown-up. Don't do anything stupid. Basic stuff, but necessary for him.
And she's super organized, right? The binder.
Oh, yeah, the binder.
Yeah.
Full of notes on every board member. She's methodical, disciplined, determined to nail this and get that partnership. Pure, focused effort.
And Riker's reaction to all this?
His initial strategy is just chaos. He actively tries to get her to quit.
Why? To get out of the whole thing.
Exactly. He sees it as a babysitter gig. So he uses these petty tactics, like refusing help with luggage.
Real mature.
Right. But then he also tries to weaponize their past, leverage that intimacy, trying to distract her, referencing things from that night, trying to break her professional cool by reminding her of their personal connection. It's calculated.
So this constant push and pull, but they have to present a united front, right?
Absolutely. Which leads to the PR lie.
What's that?
They agree on a cover story for why she's there. Not damage control. Oh, no.
So what do they say?
That Riker sought her out for high-level media training to prepare him to take over the company.
Ah, clever. Proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. It spins the narrative completely, but it just highlights this huge gap between their public roles and private reality.
Publicly, they're colleagues working towards a goal.
Privately. Constant arguments from Riker, rigid formality from Camille.
And the pressure on Camille must have been intense, especially with her father involved.
Yeah, that's another layer. We find out her own father, Troy Vaughn, has zero faith in Riker, calls him immature, a lost cause.
So why take the job?
The money, apparently. Our sources suggest Troy took the assignment for the massive fee, He wasn't betting on Riker's redemption.
Just the profit. And using his daughter to get it.
That's how it looks. It's pretty cynical.
Yeah.
High-stakes PR driven purely by the bottom line.
Meanwhile, Riker is starting to maybe see the light a little. Hanging out with friends.
Yeah, he has moments. Catches up with a friend, Jude Kensington, at the club. Starts thinking maybe it's okay to grow up a little. A tiny crack in the facade.
But Camille is just isolated.
Completely. Working nonstop, always performing. And there's this really telling moment where she admits to her dad, I'll do my best, but you can hear she suspects.
Suspects what?
That maybe he never actually intends to make her partner, no matter how well she does with Riker.
Wow. That's rough. So the whole setup feels designed to break them, almost.
Or maybe force them to confront things. Because that professional conflict, that pressure cooker,
Yeah.
it eventually forces them to drop the masks.
Oh, okay, so let's get to that, because things really shift, don't they?
They really do. There's this critical turning point. It shatters those professional walls.
What happens?
They're prepping for a yacht outing. Classic Hampton schmooze event, essential for the mission.
Right.
And Camille suddenly shows this really intense fear, like phobia level, open water, boats. She panics.
And Riker, the guy trying to sabotage her.
And that's the twist. He sees her fear, and he shows this flicker of actual consideration, genuine empathy. Yeah. He offers to go alone, says he'll cover the meeting for her. It's completely against his get-her-to-quit strategy. It's selfless.
That's a huge shift.
It is. But then there's something else. Smaller, but maybe even more significant.
Go on.
He offers her a drink beforehand, and he remembers her specific favorite drink from New Year's Eve months ago, from that one night.
What was it?
A dirty martini with exactly 2 olive skewers.
Whoa, he remembered that.
He remembered that. And that detail, that small act of remembering her specifically, it tells Camille he wasn't just using her that night. He actually saw her.
And that breaks down the wall.
It opens the door. That shared moment allows the animosity to finally fade, and vulnerability starts to creep in.
So Riker opens up.
He does. He finally talks about why he's been so reckless, why he landed in this mess.
What's the story?
He felt this immense pressure to be the perfect son. But his mother got cancer, and despite everything, he couldn't save her. Yeah. And that grief, that feeling of failure, it turned into self-hatred and this destructive behavior. Board trouble was just a symptom.
And he connects this back to Camille.
He makes this huge admission. He says meeting her that night on New Year's Eve was the first time he genuinely felt happy since she passed.
That's incredibly vulnerable. How does Camille react?
She meets his vulnerability with her own. Reveals she also lost her mother when she was young.
No way.
Yes. This shared grief becomes this powerful connection. And then she admits her deepest fear.
Which is?
That she's terrified I'm unlovable. That she thought she had to earn love and value through being perfect professionally, especially in her father's eyes.
So they both had these deep wounds related to their mothers.
Exactly. And through this shared honesty, they finally address the original misunderstanding. The thing that caused all the friction.
The New Year's morning incident.
Right. They realized it was a complete misunderstanding. He hadn't just callously left her.
What had happened?
He'd only stepped out for a few minutes. He went to get donuts, his mother's favorite kind, for New Year's Day. It was a tradition he was trying to keep up.
And Camille woke up alone and just assumed.
Assumed the worst.
Yeah.
That he'd used her and left. So she bolted, put up her professional shield, and never looked back.
And that assumption fueled months of antagonism.
The entire summer, basically. All based on unchecked assumptions and unspoken hurt. Once they actually talk about it, clear the air.
Things change professionally, too.
Massively. That emotional clarity translates directly into professional success. Riker starts genuinely engaging. Camille's plans work perfectly.
And he gets the board's approval.
Much earlier than anyone expected. Thanks really to Camille's work and his newfound maturity. Mission accomplished.
But it can't be that simple, right? This is high drama.
Oh, it's not over. Just as they're maybe celebrating this win, both fathers show up. Unannounced.
Oh, no. Troy Vaughn and Riker's father?
Yep. They walk in, find Riker and Camille together, and it's obvious the professional line has been blurred. Big time.
How does Troy react, Camille's dad?
Predictably, maybe. He's furious. He immediately tries to reassert control, calls Camille his employee in this really dismissive way.
Trying to put her back in her place.
Exactly. And then he delivers this incredibly cruel, really misogynistic line, basically accusing her of sleeping her way into favor.
That's awful. What does Riker do?
This is where we see the new Riker, the one who's grown up. He doesn't hesitate.
He defends her.
Fiercely. Steps right up to Troy Vaughn, tells him off, even threatens his PR business if he ever speaks to Camille like that again. He goes full protector mode.
And for Camille, seeing that,
It's the final piece of the puzzle. It confirms Riker's change is real, his feelings are genuine, and it exposes the truly toxic dynamic with her own father.
so she realizes the partnership was never really on the table, or not worth the cost.
Exactly. She sees her father clearly for the first time, maybe,
Yeah.
realizes he never intended to promote her based on merit, that his approval was conditional and manipulative, and she makes this huge choice.
She quits.
She quits Vaughn PR on the spot, walks away from the job, the title, everything she thought she wanted.
Because she realized her self-respect was more important.
Precisely. She chose herself over his validation.
And then she goes back to Riker.
She finds him back at the club.
Yeah.
And she just lays it out there. I'm falling in love with you.
Wow. And Riker.
He reciprocates. He admits that because of her, because of everything they went through, he actually likes himself again. He's ready.
So they decide to make a real go of it, a relationship.
They do. The PR crisis is resolved, but more importantly, they've resolved their own internal crises. They choose each other.
So looking back at this whole thing, what's the big takeaway?
Well, the professional assignment, the PR crisis, it really just became the crucible. The intense situation needed to force them to deal with their deep personal issues.
Right. Riker had to confront his grief and self-loathing to actually become the leader he needed to be.
And Camille had to confront her fear of being unlovable, her need for external validation, especially from her father, to see her own worth.
So the image crisis wasn't just solved by PR spin.
Not primarily, no. I mean, Camille's skills were essential, obviously. But the real solution came from that genuine human connection, vulnerability, empathy.
He got the Empire because he finally deserved it, and she got self-respect and love, which was worth more than the partnership.
Exactly. And the sources confirm it comes full circle.
How so?
Riker proposes exactly 1 year later, on New Year's Day,
The anniversary.
the anniversary of the misunderstanding and their first meeting, and he uses his mother's ring.
Tying it all back to healing that maternal loss for both of them.
It seems so. Finding support in each other helped them both let go of that grief.
What a journey. It really makes you think. Okay, final thought for you, our listener, to chew on.
Go for it.
If this entire intense summer-long conflict between Riker and Camille really started and was sustained just by one simple misunderstanding over some New Year's donuts, how many of our own conflicts, maybe big or small, personal or professional, are actually based on assumptions? Assumptions we've just been too afraid or maybe too busy to actually challenge?
Good question.
Something to think about next time you find yourself jumping to a conclusion.